I love watching videos where people go through and talk about the things that they don't own anymore since becoming more minimalist or living more clutter-free. So I went through and made a list of all the things that I don't own anymore as far as household items since decluttering about 85% of our family's stuff. I think it's really, really fun to see what other people are living without. And when I say living without, I don't mean like depriving yourself. These are just the things that I haven't found myself needing. These items don't make my life easier. I am just fine and can get along great without them. The first household item that I do not own is shaving cream. I have not bought shaving cream in 10 years maybe. I just don't feel it is worth the money. I actually just use a bar of soap to shave my legs and it works perfectly fine. I think a lot of you might have an opinion about this. Do you use shaving cream or do you not find it very necessary? Let me know in a comment. I don't own a bathrobe, and at some point I had one and I actually used the same robe for about 7 or 8 years and I just loved it to death. And since I got rid of it, recycled it, I haven't purchased a new one and I haven't really noticed that I've missed it. When it's a really chilly morning, I'll just go ahead and get dressed. I'll put my sweatshirt on, my hoodie, and I'll go ahead and just get ready for the morning wearing that. So I haven't really found the robe to be necessary, although I did enjoy having one. I don't own any placemats, and I used to have different sets of placemats in the kitchen for different occasions, and I wonder if people just aren't really using placemats anymore. Are they even a thing? When I first got married 14 years ago, they were pretty popular and you could find placemats everywhere you went, and maybe you still can. I just haven't been looking for them. But do you own placemats? Do you use them? I know there are cute ones for kids. There are also ones that you can kind of use to dress up your table. I really just don't do this anymore. I don't have any chargers. If I'm going to dress my table, I will just kind of use candles and some greenery or even home decor from around the house. I will use seasonally on my table for special dinners, but I do not use placemats. I don't own a Keurig or a coffee maker or anything like that. If I'm going to have a hot drink, I will just use the microwave or the stovetop. I find that these machines are rather large and they just take up the room in the kitchen that I don't have. And so I am really, really happy to do without like different kinds of machines. Plus, I don't drink coffee very often, so I just don't really find that I need to have one in my kitchen. It just doesn't serve me. And again, that space that it takes up is a real problem in my small kitchen. Some of you might be surprised. I do not own an Instant Pot. I had one at one point and I was so intimidated by it. It just sat there and sat there. I never used it. So I went ahead and decluttered it from my space. I used my slow cooker, which I know the Instant Pot makes it fast, and that's the beauty of it. That's why it's called that. So many people love it, but I just never could get up the guts to use mine. So I don't have an Instant Pot. I just use my slow cooker and get it started earlier. I also do not have a food processor or a kitchen aid. Again, these things that just kind of take up extra room in your kitchen. The things that I do have in my kitchen are a waffle iron because I make waffles constantly. I have a little George Foreman, a little kitchen kettle. I keep things really, really simplified in the kitchen and stripped down to the things that we use on a very consistent basis. If it's not something that I would use consistently, then I just don't own it. I find a way to do without or use something else or even borrow it. So for me, these things just don't make sense because they're not things that I'm using on a regular. I do not own anything for hands-free calling. No earbuds, nothing like that. I just use my phone on speakerphone if I need to talk hands-free. I do that in the car, I do it around my house, so I don't have anything for hands-free calling, which I feel like is maybe strange in today's world. I feel like most people are using hands-free calling, but I just don't do it. I don't feel like I want to spend the money on some kind of technology like that. I'm really, really simple. I'm very basic when it comes to tech. And so just having my phone is enough for me. Are you guys into the Stanley water bottle? I don't have one, and I feel like this is worth mentioning because these are all over YouTube, especially Instagram. People are raving about the Stanley water bottle. It's expensive. These are pricey, and my friends have them. They look really nice. They say they keep your water cold for hours, which sounds amazing, but I just I've never bought one, and I don't plan to. Let me know if you've tried the Stanley, if you think it's worth it for you. But yeah, I don't have a Stanley. I just use water bottles that I either get for free or ones that I've had for many, many years from Target or something like that. And I just haven't found the need to replace any of my water bottles with the Stanley, but I know they're very, very popular. I got rid of my iron and my ironing board years ago. The funny thing about it is this is a classic household item. Like, it's so classic, but again, I just don't really have anywhere to store something like that. My laundry room is small, so what I do is I just pull my clothes right out of the dryer. The only time it really is a problem is if it's something like that I need to hang dry and that still has all the wrinkles in it. What I will do is I'll actually put it back in the dryer with a damp towel, and that usually will take all the wrinkles out without shrinking the shirt. So I've kind of found a way around this. Also, if it's like a collar or something, you can actually use a hair straightener to flatten collars and like cuffs and stuff like that. So I just don't need an iron. I found a way around it. You can also, guys, this is such a cool hack, you can toss a couple of ice cubes in your dryer with the clothes that you really want to de-wrinkle, and it does help. So there's a couple things you can do without having to own and store an iron and an ironing board. Earlier, I mentioned how I don't own any placemats. Going along with that, I don't own a tablecloth. I used to own these tablecloths that I would bring out a couple times a year and use them to kind of decorate and spruce up my table. It just took up extra room in my linen closet, and because I didn't use them very often, I didn't really find that I needed them. So again, I let my kids gather things from around the house, and I use real flowers and things like that to decorate the table, and it has become a tradition. So it kind of, when you don't have these everyday items, it forces you to think a little bit outside the box and sometimes even involve your family in really positive ways. So for me, none of these items are necessary for my comfort. They don't make my life easier to the point where I need them or I feel like I need them in my life, and I'm just able to save on storage in my home. So let me know what items are pretty popular or common that you also do not own and you don't miss. Thank you so much for watching today. Please subscribe on your way out, and I will see you soon. Bye.